These are members of the Upper Skagit Indian tribe fishing with nets, a custom that dates back centuries. For many, this sparks outrage. Sports fishers and others accuse tribes of abusing their treaty rights, overfishing, and unfairly using gill nets, contributing to the devastating decline in salmon. On the Skagit River, Chinook salmon and steelhead are headed toward extinction.
Native Americans are suffering devastating losses.
We heard the criticisms after running our reports on Seattle City Light's extremely controversial claims that their dams on the Skagit River don't hurt fish. Dozens of viewers and online readers told us it's not the dams killing salmon runs, but the Native Americans. One wrote, it's the gill nets wiping out the salmon from local tribes. It's always been the problem. Another said, maybe they shouldn't net the river. Their ancestors didn't buy gas boats and nets. They're the ones who ruined the steelhead run by over-netting the river. Another viewer wrote, get the nets out of the water.
What would you say to that when you hear people saying it's all the Indians' fault?
I'd say, honestly, they have it exactly backwards.
Kelly Suzewind is the director of the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. He says it's not a free-for-all for the Native Americans on the rivers. They fish according to the law. That non-native fishers and Native Americans split 50-50 a determined number of fish, if any, that can be taken during each run. The data of what's caught is shared with the state.
That's supported by the courts. You know, if you get 10 fish and I get 10 fish, that's where we stop. I can catch mine by a hook and line, a troller or a seiner or a gill net. That's their right. That's their choice.
The right to use nets is rooted in the 1855 Treaty of Point Elliott that says the right of taking fish at usual and accustomed grounds and stations is further secured to said Indians.
We endeavor not to tell each other how to fish, just manage how many fish we're impacting and split that up.
It's traditionally told by all our people that we only take what we need. We do not take more than what we need.
Marilyn Scott is an Upper Skagit Indian tribe elder and member of the tribal council. For thousands of years, her ancestors fished on the Skagit for nutritional, spiritual, and cultural needs. But according to fisheries managers, in recent years, the tribe has barely fished at all, just a few days a year to help with salmon recovery. Despite that, she says, they still get blamed.
Now the things that the people say is in the general population is that those damn Indians, they're out there fishing. They get to fish whenever they want to fish. They get free money from the government. We don't get free money from the government. We all have to do what we do to survive, and we can't even do that now.
What the tribe can't do is exercise their treaty right of fishing as they have historically, and they want Seattle to help by mitigating for the harm caused by their dams. The structures sit on the Upper Skagit's sacred ancestral lands and block miles of habitat for salmon. But we've heard from viewers who don't think the treaties still have value. One online reader said to tear up those damn things.
I hear a lot of rhetoric about we gave the tribes too much in the treaties. And in reality, we gave the tribes nothing in the treaties. The treaties were a transfer of rights from the tribes to the government. And for that trade, basically all this beautiful land in the Pacific Northwest was given away by the tribes to the government. They reserved rights. They maintained rights they already had to hunt, fish, and gather in common with us. So that's a 150-year-old right.
Along the Skagit River, Susanna Frame, King 5 News.
The Upper Skagit Indian tribe wants Seattle City Light to study the feasibility of removing one of its 3 dams, the Gorge Dam, which is the smallest. So far, the utility is refusing to even study this idea.